Hey there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Rosies Studio as their guest designer for the Keeping Cool collection. So I decided I'd stick with the Keeping Cool theme for this layout, and I've got a photograph of me in a pool in Italy eating an ice cream. I think this range is going to be absolutely perfect for this. So for this layout I want to concentrate mainly on the bits and pieces that go with the Keeping Cool collection. So I'm looking at the chipboard frames, the die cut ephemera, the die cut words, the chipboard words, the stickers, the puffy stickers, the letters. There is so much to choose from. And the one thing that Rosies Studio does that I'm not sure that anyone else does is in the die cuts there are two of everything. In fact, you can see it there. I put a yellow circle there on the layout, and there was another one still left in the bowl, and that is perfect because it really means that you feel that you can use things without being concerned that you may need them for another layout, or you should be saving them because they're perfect, because you've got two. So I'm not going to be skimping on this layout. I'm going to be making a most of all the bits and pieces that Rosies Studio make to make this a really summery layout, and I hope that you'll agree with that too when we've got through there. So you may have noticed that I've tipped the ephemera into a glass bowl. I find it a really easy way to be able to go through it, but actually also keep it contained because there's lots of small pieces and I don't want any to get lost or fall off my desk, because I tend to scrapbook standing up, so things have got a long way to go if they fall off. So I like to have it in the bowls just so that keeps it all in view but contained at the same time. So what I've done is I've picked out some bits that I've put on the right that have potential to go with this layout. I want to mix the colours up, and I really like those ice lollies that are all in a row, and I've picked 3 of the frames as the base. So you can see there's 2 shades of blue and one is got diagonal stripes, and that brings in all those ice creamy colours. Always reminds me of like Neapolitan from when I was a child. So I want to mix all those colours into this layout. So that particularly those lollies in a row, they're definitely here to stay. So the idea is I'm going to add some bits to the layout, move them around. I want to embellish the frames, and I'm a slow scrapbooker, I'll admit that from the start. I enjoy this process. I have a real job that's quite stressful, so this is my get away from it all, to concentrate on just enjoying the process, making something I like. What you can't hear is I've probably got music or an audiobook already playing in the background. So to actually just look at all the wonderful embellishments that Rosies Studio have made for this collection, and look at a position for them to be perfect to stick down, that I'm going to enjoy that. And so it does take me a little bit of time, and what you're seeing is actually speeded up, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it. But there is so many things to choose from. So I'm looking at some stickers now. I'm actually cutting them off with the background intact because I don't stick anything down at this stage, because I like to be sure. So by having the background on the back of the sticker, it means I can move it around the page without it coming to any harm. Also, it makes it a little bit thicker as well, so it stays pristine. So I really like the way this is looking. I'm trying to keep the photograph quite central, and that's why you can see me tweaking the frames a little bit there while I work that out. I always find with a layout like this that some areas come together really well, particularly the frame with the yellow circle with Sunshine's A State of Mind and the lollies. I really like that way that's looking already, and others will take a little bit more time. But one thing that's already struck me, have you seen the 2 little Polaroids that are in this range? One's got a seagull on and one's got a couple of beach huts. They are definitely going to make the cut. And I know there's another set already in the bowl, but I'm kind of wishing there was more of these because they are so super cute. And they're a perfect filler. They've got some interest and they're going to work really well being tucked in gaps on this layout. So I'm just looking at some puffy stickers here. I really love the beach huts. Obviously there's not a beach hut in the photograph, but you get the vibe. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean it can't be there. And that's a camera, so a camera icon can go with any layout, so that's going to work. I brought in some paper from a 6x6 pad and popped it in the frame with the ice lollies on, and I like the way that looks, so I definitely will be bringing in some paper to go behind the other 2 as well. So I'm looking at this deck chair icon at the moment. I'm not sure it makes the cut in the end, so I've got some more bits and pieces in another bowl, and I've picked out a few more bits that I really like the look of. So I'm just going to have a play around. And just so I can remind you that this Rosies Studio collection, Keeping Cool, goes on sale on the 9th of May 2023. So I would really recommend you get your hands on it. So if you're watching this later, then it'll already be out there in the shop. So I would hurry if I were you, because it's really easy to create with, particularly when it's got so many different icons, so many different words, and so many different aspects. You don't need to try too hard to get it all to work. So I'm just looking at whether I should repeat the circles and add the blue one in the top frame. That frame is the one that's given me trouble. Isn't it funny that, as I did say before, there's always somewhere that might do that. And I've added some surfboards to the lower one, so they're not in the picture, but it's still giving you that holiday vibe. I like that checkered behind that frame, so I think that might stay. And I'm looking for some paper to go behind the frame at the bottom. I'm not sure whether yellow is a little bright or whether to come in with another colour. And the green makes the cut. So just making a few decisions, I decide that I actually want to add a pattern paper behind it. So rather than move everything that I've done, I've used another piece of white cardstock and I've cut that down. I've taken, I think, 3/4 of an inch off. So I'm now going to attach that to the pattern paper. I've not added my tape near the edges because I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and run round it in white cotton, which you can just about see there. So I'm actually going to just move things over and stick them down on the smaller piece of cardstock. You could also take a photograph first so that you know exactly how things look. That would also work. But as it was just a piece of white cardstock, I knew I could recreate it. And I like the way that does, and that the edging brings it all in. I've got the diagonals going in the same way as the frame. So you may not notice that, but for me that works. So I like the way they're looking now. So I think it's time to start sticking things down. And I will do this off camera, and I've used foam pads behind some of the shapes, and that's it, all stuck down. So I'm just going to go back through, see if there's any little bits and pieces that I might want to add with foam. So I've got the puffy stickers, I've got the enamel dots, I've got the puffy words. Just see if there's any finishing touches that I want to add. There's a lovely puffy seagull there that I've added at the top by the beach huts. I'm going to add a couple of word stickers, I think, over that rainbow. Loving life and living life and sunny skies, I think, are the ones that make the cut. So thank you so much for watching this video. Do check out this wonderful Rosies Studio range, Keeping Cool. I'm just having my final look round. I think I'm pretty much finished, and I really look how summery this looks. I think it works really well and a great way to use all the bits and pieces. So that's everything stuck down, and I'm just lifting the edges up there. So this is the final layout and the close-up too. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you here again soon. Bye for now.